concept of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence was a term coined by the Daniel Goleman in his book Emotional Intelligence: Why It Can Matter More Than IQ, which introduced general public to the emotional concept that had been discussed by psychologists and lay people for decades. So, what is emotional intelligence? It is the ability to monitor one's own and others' feelings and emotions, ability to discriminate among them, and ability to use this information to guide one's thinking and action. Emotional intelligence has 4 pillars: perceiving emotions, using emotions to facilitate thoughts, understanding emotions, and managing emotions. And how it is measured? There are few things you have to consider if you want to measure the emotional intelligence. Number 1 is EQ1 model. Primarily measures personality and mood variables such as self-regard, empathy, tolerance, and happiness. The second one is MSCEIT. It's basically an emotional intelligence test to measure the aspect from the model of emotional intelligence. Mayer and colleagues gave the measurement scale called as MSCEIT. Next is about identifying emotions. The task concerned with perceiving emotions asks respondents to identify the emotions expressed in photographs of faces as well as the feelings suggested by the artistic design and landscape. The MSCEIT has 8 subtests and over 100 individual items. These examples are meant to illustrate the type of item that this ability test of emotional intelligence consists of. The second branch of this test is using emotions to facilitate thoughts. Branch 2 of this ability model concerns using emotions and emotional understanding to facilitate thinking. Simply stated, people emotionally intelligent harness emotions and work with them to improve problem solving and to boost creativity. Number 3 is about understanding emotion. Branch 3 of emotional intelligence highlights the skills needed to foster an understanding of complex emotions, relationships among emotions, and relationships between emotions and behavioral consequences. The 4th pillar or the 4th branch of this whole pyramid is managing emotions. It involves numerous good regulation skills. These skills are difficult to master because regulation is a balancing act. With too much regulation, a person may become emotionally repressed. With too little, one's emotional life becomes overwhelming. So these were the 4 pillars or the 4 branches about the emotional intelligence. Now, the question here is, can emotional intelligence be taught? On this issue, evidence suggests that children, youth, and adults can be taught to use emotional experiences to enrich their daily lives and can be equipped to deal with the good and bad event that they encounter. For example, we can teach people emotional words, and we can teach people what causes emotions. We can help someone who is not good at identifying emotions accurately to increase their accuracy level. These people are learning skills and acquiring knowledge, but their emotional intelligence itself may not be changing. The next discussion should be about emotional intelligence as we are studying positive psychology, so I will look up to positive outcomes. So the question is, who is emotionally intelligent and does it matter? The high emotional intelligence or the high emotional intelligence individual most centrally can better perform emotions, use them in thoughts, understand their meanings, and manage emotions better than others. Solving emotional problems require less cognitive efforts for this individual. This person also tend to be somewhat higher in verbal, social, and other intelligences, particularly if the individual scored higher in the understanding emotions portion of emotional intelligence. The individual tend to be more open and agreeable with others. This high emotional intelligence person is drawn to occupations involving social interactions, such as teaching and counseling, more so than to occupations involving clerical or administrative tasks. The high emotional intelligence in individuals have also been shown to be less engaged in behavioral problems, self-destructiveness, and negative behaviors. So let me conclude this whole concept, this whole topic for you, the importance of emotional intelligence. So there are three things you have to consider. Number one, intelligence cannot be created in a comfortable world, but it would be a poorer place without emotional intelligence. Number second, emotional intelligence helps us through emotionally damaged days. And number last, it helps in establishing emotionally positive social relationships. So this was all about the emotional intelligence.